Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. The president of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, is funny. I don't know if he really is funny. I never met him, but he's trying to be funny at least. He makes some statements in a meeting with Putin. They meet in St. Petersburg, and it's very interesting that I read a few articles coming from the Ukrainian side stating that Putin doesn't get out of his bunker somewhere in Kerch area or wherever he might be. Well, he's in St. Petersburg. He doesn't get out because now he's afraid or something. Okay, he was not afraid before, but now he is. So Lukashenko comes out, meets Putin in St. Petersburg, I think, and makes some very, I think he's just trolling the Poles, and he just trolls the NATO alliance as well. He says that the Wagner Mercenaries want to visit Poland. No, he uses all kind of beautiful metaphoric speaking or something. Just want to go over there and just take pictures, Let me show you two articles here that give us some details in Lukashenko's comedy stand-up action here. Like Zelensky is now he's a direct competitor to Zelensky's job. Ukrainska Pravda. Lukashenko threatens Poland with Wagnerites. They want to go west. That's one, and here are the guys here. July 23rd, 2023. Alexander Lukashenko, the self-proclaimed president of Belarus, has said that Wagner private military company fighters are, and I'm quoting, stressing him out, end quote, because they want to attack Poland. It's interesting, these guys call, what's his name, Lukashenko, self-proclaimed president, but then they call Wagner private military company. Why don't you go with dictator and mercenaries and cut the crap? We know that's what you want to say, and sometimes you say it, sometimes you don't. A little bit of consistency, my friends. Lukashenko, at a meeting with Russian, we got this one right, dictator Putin in St. Petersburg, quoted by his press service, and I'm quoting, quote from Lukashenko, "The Wagner mercenaries, now we have them, have started to stress us out. They want to go to the west, saying, let's go on an excursion to Warsaw and Warsaw." All right, well, they want to go here and here, just do a excursion like a holiday trip. At the same time, Putin has said that he can see Ukraine's counteroffensive. He can see Ukraine counteroffensive, but it has failed. Their meeting is expected to last for 2 days. Lukashenko also stated that alleged, and I'm quoting, dismemberment of Ukraine was unacceptable to him. See? The media reported that Lukashenko took a map to the meeting with Putin, showing the transfer of Polish troops to the border of the NATO member state brigade at a time, not far from Brest and Grodno in Belarus. Last time Lukashenko showed up a map of Ukraine's alleged attack from 4 positions, and this became a meme. The State Border Guard Service of Ukraine states that there are approximately 5,000 Russian mercenaries from the Wagner Group in Belarus as of 22 of July. All right, let's go to the Russians now. Russia Today reports on July 23rd, 2023 that Wagner fighters want to, quote-unquote, visit Poland. Lukashenko. Private military companies' members are keen to cross the border and settle a score, the Belarusian president has told Putin. Fighters from private military Wagner want to, quote-unquote, visit Poland. Lukashenko told Russian counterpart Putin on Sunday. According to Lukashenko, PMC, the Wagnerites, want to reach the Polish capital, Warsaw, and the eastern city of Warsaw, which they believe was a hub for providing Ukraine troops with military hardware during the fighting for the key Donbas city Artyomovsk, also known as Bakhmut. After their failed mutiny attempt in June, Wagner members were offered, we already know that one. So, they want to go west, want to go on tour, right here by according to Lukashenko, to go on tour to Poland to visit Warsaw, which he believes was a hub. And I'm quoting, they know where the military hardware to support Ukrainian troops came from during the fighting in Artyomovsk, end quote. The Belarusian president explained on Sunday during his meeting with Putin. And I'm quoting, so they have this internal feeling that Rezov is trouble. You can make shit up, this guy. It's trouble. Rezov is trouble. All right. He also noted that the Wagner members know, and I'm quoting, what's going on around the Union state of Russia and Belarus, end quote. So he wouldn't like to have them relocated somewhere away from the center of the country, particularly given that they are in what he characterized as a bad mood. They're in a bad mood. Oh shit. On Friday, Putin claimed that Polish leaders are planning to form a NATO-backed coalition to intervene in the Ukraine conflict and take over parts of Western Europe. Possible and probable, I know. I told you that before. Belarusian territory might also be endangered, he added, promising retaliation in case of any aggression against the Union state member. As I said before, and I will say it again, I foresee that if the Ukrainians are losing it over there in the front, that means like retreating and the Russian advance towards Kiev, I see that 98-99% certain that the Polish army will cross the border at the invitation of the president of Ukraine, the Ukrainian Zelensky, and will protect the population in West Ukraine in order to, keep the Russians further away from continuing their invasion of Europe, the whole world. That's what's going to be the reason. The Hungarians will do the same thing peacefully, or this is going to be peacefully acquired. They will go and intervene in Zakarpattia, which also they claim for themselves their territory. The same, the Poles, they claim the Western Ukraine. Was theirs at that time, at certain time, but now no more, because you can sometimes pick and choose. So they were okay with Stalin giving them the eastern part of Germany, now the western territories, western part of Poland, but they didn't like that he took that and gave it to Ukraine after the Second World War as well. So nevertheless, that's a different story there. The Wagnerites will not go into Poland. These guys are just trolling the guys over there and keep them on their toes. They will not invade with 5,000 people. They will not provoke Poland or NATO. They will react and react to a false flag operation, or they will react to a real attack, but they will not go by themselves. They just talk to get these guys all stressed up and get them to negotiate. I'm not talking about Poland. I'm talking about the Americans, which I don't think is going to happen. They didn't play all their cards, which I'm talking about, again, United States. They didn't play their cards all. They still have to bring troops over there under this guy's euphemism, weasel word term, something like peacekeeping forces or something like that. And they will bring the troops over there legally, not in a covert operation, as I think they already operate in Ukraine, more or less. I don't think they are on the first line of attack. I think are just behind, but they support from behind. They support. So they keep the Wagnerites over there just as barking dogs, dangerous dogs, but they're not in a bad mood, if you know what I mean. You can be in a bad mood. Keep it down, boy. What are you gonna do? No, but if they're in a bad mood, sometimes the crazy dog will start attacking the owner. So be careful, Lukashenko. Be careful. But maybe these guys are just going to play the role of a check and balance on the how do you call it, Belarusian military if they decide to do something stupid against Lukashenko. You want them divided sometimes, so you keep these guys against the army, the army against this one. So the Wagnerites will not probably attack Lukashenko and depose him. You're gonna have the Belarusian military. The Belarusian military will not go and depose Lukashenko, possibly because of the Wagnerites that could intervene. They would have a civil war, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But there's a danger, because I don't think, to be straight, I haven't heard of the Wagnerites being insubordinate. Obviously, there are cases, independent cases, but the only insubordination was the march of justice towards Moscow. But it was not like they couldn't be reliable. When they said we're going to fight in Bakhmut, they fought in Bakhmut. When they said we're going to be in Africa, when they are still in Africa. So in that regards, they were reliable, good or bad. But it doesn't mean that it's never the first time. That's how the first time things happen. It just happened. I didn't believe it. Really? Yeah. All right. Well, these guys are trolling, I think, Poland, and Poland again will bring more troops. They're going to get more American occupation forces. I'm sorry, defenders of the NATO eastern flank. That's the term that we are supposed to use. Jesus, euphemism, man. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. Eastern Front.